Australian rules football? In the U.S.? That's right. The United States Australian Football League is in a city near you. Go to USAFL.com, find your team, check them out. We're a group full of men and women just like you. Join us for the fun athletic competition. Stay for the camaraderie.
We are the champions!
Log on and sign up to join your team at USAFL.com.
The ball phone today. Umpire's got the ball in the air, blows the whistle. We're underway to get us going. Here's Gil Griffin.
All right, ball up, and the game is underway here. And we've got the Dragons in blue with possession of the ball, trying to move it forward, getting a grip on it now and kicking it forward into a contest. And there is a mark taken, but it's the other way. An intercept over there by Baltimore-Washington. Out of the middle now. And back with the Lady Dragons, and the Dragons kick it. It's out of bounds. Ball throw in just a second.
And the umpires allowed play to go on, actually, and now trying to move it forward, looking for Pike to try and run onto the football for Baltimore-Washington. Went back in and got it again, was immediately claimed. Yoon was there, wrapped up the player, and the umpire came back and said, we'll call for a ball up. So opening minute of the game, no score either side here. And the earlier game, Texas Heat won their first ever match when they defeated Columbus Jillaroos in a low-scoring game, 4 behinds to 3 behinds. Trying to get front position there on that play was Dawes for Los Angeles. Hurry kick now by the Eagles. They're going to the right of screen. Taking the mark there was Poggi. Goes back behind the player on the mark, half-back flank. Now goes further up the line. Trying to get it to a teammate. Originally was looking for Halberstadt, but it got away from her. She went in to lay the tackle, but indeed it was Pash who had it there for Los Angeles. Tried to get a hand pass away, but it just went into heavy traffic. Laying on the tackle there was Melissa Mullins. She wasn't successful. Hand pass over the top. Trying to get in there as well was Bross to try and put on the defensive pressure. Halberstadt now with the kick. Goes in towards the middle of the ground. Coming out afterwards is Palancino for Los Angeles. Now getting in there is Poti. Poti had it momentarily. The umpire said you drop the football, and that will be a resulting free kick.
Okay, and now we've got Belle Edwards kicking it forward down into the forward line. Chance for the Dragons women's here. Hand pass, tries to get away. Struggle for the ball. And a Dragons player taken down. Big struggle there. Ball comes to ground again. Big struggle for it, trying to make its way out of the pocket. And now it seems to be the case with Baltimore-Washington, trying to get it out of its back line. And over there is Callan Deal, who gets a kick away. And an intercept mark almost, but not quite, by the Lady Dragons, or the Dragons women's, I should say. And a kick just staying in bounds, and now rolls over the boundary line. It'll be a throw-in.
A bit of a touchy headset thing, so if it just cuts out, just keep on talking, Gil, and be right on. We'll get things sorted there for you. Gremlins here today at Surf Cup Sports Park, including a temperamental printer as well, which didn't do the commentators any favours whatsoever, as Dawes now goes for the ruck work, took a swipe at it, missed it. Cuthbert was waiting out the back door, couldn't pick it up. Halberstadt goes in there, tries to get it. Silvio wanted to kick it off the ground. Waiting there on the last line of defence there was Roll, who tries to get it away. Silvio goes in one more time. She played great for the USA Liberty in their tour of Melbourne recently. Is it caught holding the ball? I thought it might have been dropped there against Kawasatsu, but couldn't quite get it out. Ball on the ground, has to go in one more time. Again, the umpire blows the whistle and says it will be a ball up. Right in the Dragons forward 50. The Eagles yet to put the ball in their forward half. So Dragons controlling play at the moment. Up we go in the air. One out by Pike, who managed to try and slap the ball forward. Going in there is Stritcher. Had it one more time. Wants to go again. Now on the pack there for Mullins. Mullins wanted to go backwards to Halberstadt. Halberstadt overran the football. Traffic jam of players. Yoon is lurking nearby as well. Wants the ball to pop out to her in the goal square. But it's an Eagles football. They move it out towards the flank. Only for Silvio to get there. She coughed up the football though. Is that one too high there? And Tricia, the umpire said no, play on. Still out there on the outer side. Halberstadt off half-back flank. Wants to try and get to a teammate. Just a traffic jam of players. Kawatatsu had it momentarily, then kicked it around the corner, tried to move it towards the flank. Want Renee Dawes to run onto it, but the ball got away from them, went over the boundary line and out of bounds. Gill will have a throw in 40 metres out from the LA goal.
All right, and Kawakatsu, her nickname is Yui. That's how she's remembered simply over for the Dragons women who have possession of the ball. A little bump off the ball now. Trying to get it forward, the Dragons women having a little trouble. Now Baltimore-Washington with a chance to clear it, and they do with a kick out through the corridor. Here come the Lady Dragons, though, with it, trying to move it back, trying to get it to go the other way. And there's a big scramble for it right there in the corner. A kick off the boot is a little bit of a grubber. And now soccered forward. Here come the Lady Eagles with a chance to move it forward. Contest there. And soccered forward again. Looks like the Lady Eagles have a chance with Kendall Jerms going forward. And she gets a handball away. She's wrapped up in a tackle. And someone is gone down there for holding the ball. Whose free kick is it? It's going to go the way of the Lady Dragons coming the other way.
No score either side at the moment, and on the Cooper's clock, we have gone about 5 minutes into this first half, but it's certainly the Dragons that have had all the play, and a mark taken on the wing on the outer side of the ground. They want to go for an option. They go long and high up the line. Went over their head there. Kakatsu, who had it momentarily, got turned over. It's an Eagles football. Long kick up the line there by Mullins. Goes out towards the wing. One bounce over the boundary line and out of bounds. Stable in there as well, seeing the ball go over. So the Eagles at the moment just holding up in defence skill, but you can just see the class of the Dragons, which is great to see. Again, there's about, I think, 9 players out of LA. Also going through their list, as we said, 2 coming out of Des Moines, including Hannah Bailey, who is actually making her Aussie Rules debut today.
Wow. Good on her. What a way to do it, playing Nationals. And a kick goes forward, and trying to spin around and take a mark down there as a Lady Dragon. Doesn't get it. Ball being contested down there in the wing. Now comes toward the center. There's another attempt at a mark from a kick. No good. There's a kick going wide, not far enough to play on, or not far enough to take the mark. Now it's going the other way. Lady Dragons have it. And a kick out there on the short hop or on the half volley. And there's a whistle blown, and it's going to be a free kick to the Dragons women. And she sends it forward. Small kick out toward the boundary line. It might spill over, and it is kept alive momentarily. Still on the wing. And there is a tackle over there. The umpire will ball it up.
Beautiful sunshiny day out here in San Diego. For those in Australia, 28 degrees Celsius is what they're looking at. When it comes to weather, nice sunshiny, great conditions for playing football, and probably for a bit of socialising as well, which is half what the Nationals are about. Ball goes towards the outer side, and it will go over the boundary line and out of bounds. Who have you got in the 17 on your list there for Baltimore-Washington?
17 for Baltimore-Washington is Tracy Toner.
Of course, she played actually very well for Boston in their combination, which made the grand final in Division 2 last year. Very impressed with her performance, and she'll have to be good today. Stabling goes in again, tries to lay a tackle there for the Eagles. Ball spills free, but it's a Dragons football. They kick it long. Rollers circling around the back allows the ball to go over the boundary line and out of bounds. And that's probably the thing, even though they're reading the ball okay, the Eagles, when it kicks to space in defence and they can get it back, when it's in tight, that fast possession, that fast movement of the ball from the Dragons is really creating pressure.
Absolutely, and you mentioned Stablen, Karen Stablen of Baltimore-Washington, one of the Liberty players, are the second side of USA Freedom, the women's team that played in IC-17.
Long kick up the line. Silvio coming out after the football. Worrell is there as well. Circling around Silvio. Gee, she's good. And then she moves the ball inside 50 with a kick. How's it going to bounce? Yoon was there over around the football. Maya goes in there as well. She goes in and picks up the loose ball, but she is immediately claimed by Yoon. Ball hit the ground. Hurry kick away by Dill. No, she is claimed as well. In goes Silvio. Tries to get the football out. Dawes is there. Kicks it around the corner towards the top of the square. Cuthbert is there. Did it squeeze through? Did it hit the post? It hit the post. Very similar to what happened in the second half of the game between Columbus and Texas, where the Columbus player kicked the ball and it just clipped the post to be out of bounds, and they lost by a point. So, geez, you know, a game of centimetres as the ball is thrown back into play on the far side of the ground. Again, it's going to go over the boundary line and out of bounds. Seeing it over on that occasion again is Stablen and Gill. We've got about 11 minutes to go in this first half. No score either side.
No score either side. A lot of the women's games have been characterized by low scoring outputs, very tight defensive games.
As we wait now for Pody to have the football, and elects to kick it on the right boot. Stays wide. Hurry kick off the right boot. Going up the line, but not too far. And I think it might be the player that got underneath that. I mean, Hannah Bailey, who now kicks it inboard. Looking to run onto it is Burkett. who got it quickly to Bartz, who got immediately claimed, but she
gone?
got a kick away according to the umpire. Now moving it on there is Savannah Green. Green towards the top of the goal square, just getting around the back there and managing to clear it is Worrell on the last line of defence. Couldn't afford it to go through for a point. Now gets it out to Toner. Toner now goes long up the wing position, chasing after the football there. Gaokatsu now with the football close towards the boundary line. She holds up the footy, but the Eagles, they have numbers, but can they work it out? Because the intensity around the ball by the Dragons has been fantastic, and they win another clearance. Now on the right boot, they go long and high towards centre half forward, but the defence across half back again holding up for the Baltimore-Washington Eagles. Samantha Worrell on that occasion. And in fact, it was a free kick from behind play, so the ball will go back. Gill and LA Dragons kick.
LA Dragons kick, and it goes inside the 50, toward the 50-meter arc, and the mark almost taken, but not. It spills out. And here come the Lady Eagles moving the ball forward. Kick up the boundary line, goes out of bounds. And it's funny, I was saying to my partner Brian Barish earlier, if that had been the AFL, might have been called deliberate. The way that rule has now been so liberally applied.
As the ball's back into play on that outer side. Close towards the boundary line is Cuthbert there. Couldn't get on the football. And very close to going over. The umpire's just circling by and pulled out a free kick for too high. And it's going the way of the Baltimore-Washington Boston Eagles, we'll call that, because Boston making up half the team as part of this combination. Long kick up the line, getting away there by Stablein, and the ball will go over the boundary line and out of play. And we'll have another throw in.
In fact, their nickname are the Lady Deagles.
The Deagles.
The Deagles.
We're the Deagles, the East Coast Deagles.
Uh-huh.
There you
Here
go.
to show you why.
You know what they got? You know what you should ask me? I didn't have that. Valerie's got the spray. It's like a tough spray. It freezes for like 5 seconds, so if you spray it, then they get the shot right away.
Scramble for the ball now, and Lady Eagles trying to advance it forward, and player is wrapped up over there, trying to get the ball out. Dragons do momentarily. A little paddle of the ball forward. Lady Eagles still trying to work it out. And here come the Dragons, and the Dragons kick it, but it's going to be cut off over there by Callan Deal. Callan Deal with a kick down toward the forward 50, and that one takes a little bounce. Eagles trying to work it out, and a kick, a soccer off the ground, back toward the middle of play. And here's a handball out. And the Dragons have it. The Dragons now, they are off and running now. Here's a kick toward the center, up the corridor. And there are a few players around there for the Dragons. It's a 3-on-2 situation. Ball spilling to ground. And let's see, here come the Lady Eagles again as Holly Halberstadt advances it forward. Now she's over there with Marta Rivera. Marta Rivera loses the ball, and now the Lady Dragons have it.
And the kick inboard is intercepted, taken by Drury, who now goes for goal. It's away to the left and just out of bounds again. Agonisingly close. No score either side. On the Cooper's clock, 7.5 minutes remaining in this first half. Any score points them ahead. Of course, with the skills at the moment, as we said, this is Division 2 compared to Division 1, which you'll probably find a lot more skillful sides, a bit like the Iron Maidens, Denver example, that have been playing together for a lot longer, where these combinations, not only is it new players to the game for a number of teams, but obviously they're thrown together on the morning of as a team, and they're still having to try and figure each other out, who plays what position, who runs to where, and trying to get to know each other. But of course that skill obviously gets better as the game goes on and the tournament goes on, and they've just snuck it through for a point there, the Eagles, and they will take the lead here. They lead 1 behind to no score. 6.5 minutes remaining, Gil, in this first term.
All right, and there's a kick in going toward the defensive 50 from the Dragons women, and now here's a kick in from the Eagles. And over the head, will it go through for a goal? Going all the way close. There's a shot that's smothered. Eagles trying to recover the ball. Ball spills out near the goal sticks. And then again, the Dragons women kick it, and that one is out of bounds. But we've got a free kick coming up.
In danger. He said that the ball was on the ground and he shouldn't have gone to kick it then. And by the look of it, I think it's going to be an Eagles free kick as well.
Oh, this could be huge.
21 on your sheet. Who do you have there?
Okay, 21 on my sheet would be Kendall Jennings.
No, it's against her. So it is a free kick going the way of, it might be Hannah, or it could be Silvio back there because I'm seeing a helmet. Silvio will get the resulting free kick for the Demons.
Well, that is dodging a major bullet right there. If that had been a free kick to the Eagles, they'd have the chance to put the first major one on the board.
So as the ball now moves towards the middle of the ground, foot race on there. Bart's wanted to try and get onto it, but beaten out in the end by Worrell, who launched away, only for Silvio of centre half back, who kicks it straight down the corridor. Bit of a don't argue there by Mater, who now goes inside 50, was looking for an intended target, couldn't quite get there, pushed over as Green in the process. In the back, the crowd scream. Umpire not going to pay it, and the umpire's now blown the whistle. No, I thought the whistle must have been on the other field nearby. Hurried little hand pass away. Going in afterwards is Stableman. Can't quite pick up the football, but does go to ground. Locks it in. Wants to keep it inside their 50. Drury now going in there as well for the Eagles. Can't squeeze it out. Silvio can for the Dragons. Hurry kick. Coming out afterwards is Mullen. Wants to meet the football. Got it away there to Bross. Bross now tried to get it going, but it got
nice
snapped
bump
straight
off
back.
there.
Beautiful work, and that was by Pike, whose kick was smothered. Excellent work by Bass to try and do well there. Now they're going in one more time for the Eagles with a hurry kick around the corner. I've got 8 as Mullins on my sheet.
Yes, Marissa Mullins.
Yeah.
Marissa Mullins and Karen Stable in number 8. That was a great tackle there by Marissa Mullins.
Drury now has it for the Eagles, who goes towards the hot spot. Oh, just taken away from the Eagles player there. It was just a finger tipper and just run down in the end. Is the umpire going to pay holding the football?
She's gone.
And indeed it is, and it is against the number 13 there in Emily Rice, being one of the Des Moines players in this side.
That's right. In fact, she's the president of the Des Moines side.
Goes long and high towards the pack. Came off hands. Waiting back there is Hannah, who tried to get the hand pass away. Didn't work out. Going in one more time. Stablin couldn't get the hand pass out. Now waiting for it and receiving it is Drury again, but she got immediately mown down. She's going nowhere. Trying to work it out this time is Spite. Couldn't do so, but it did get to Ferrucci. Ferrucci tried to get it going, but only to be intercepted by Bross. She asked the question, when will I be famous? There's an 80s reference for you. Ball is now at centre half forward. Who's going to get it away here for the Eagles? That's surely high around the neck.
That had to be.
No, holding the ball.
Oh, my goodness.
Umpire was on the wrong side to probably call that. It was on her right side and he was on the left.
Peter, I'm with you. I thought that absolutely looked an obvious high tackle.
So the umpire blindsided means a free kick, and it is going the way of the Dragons. And they have a chance, Gil, to clear off centre half back.
They certainly do. And will she go short or long? Here's a kick going along the wing, but almost cut off and not cut off. But wait, what a bounce now going to one of the Dragons. That is number 2 there on your sheet. Peter, who do you have that as number 2?
I've got as Bart's for the Dragons.
Okay, that's right. That's right. Ryan Bartz. Ball comes to ground. And a struggle for it as the Dragons now trying to move it forward. And a big pile up there and now taken back by the Eagles. Now back, and there's a hand pass away. A short kick into traffic. And picked up again by Los Angeles. Boy, this is just a tight contest going in and out. And now it looks like the Dragons have a chance to move it forward again. That is number 19 on the score sheet that I have. Ball going forward. The Eagles trying to move it. Now they get a chance. Now they're away. Here comes a chance for a shot at goal. And it's into the hot spot. Falls down. Bumped off the ball. And having it, has shot at it now is Kat Bross. Bross now handballs it away. And there's a kick. And it's smothered. Going toward the behind post. And will that go through for a behind?
It will.
It will. It was touched and over the line for one behind.
So 2 behinds to no score. Baltimore-Washington leading LA. Under 2 minutes remaining until half-time here at San Diego's Surf Cup Sports Park in the 2017 USAFL Nationals. Here's the hurry kick. Gil Griffin and Peter Holden with you in commentary, and intercepted.
That's right. It certainly is. It's cut off right there. If I could have a look to see what number that is, that's 21. That would be Kendall Jennings.
Jennings from Boston.
Yeah, Kendall Jennings now with a set shot. She steps back on the runway now, but doesn't take much of a run-up, kicks it, and it's knocked down before it even didn't have the journey, and now the ball squirts through right in front of the goal. Los Angeles will have to clear it away. There's a paddle away. Eagles going for it, but the Lady Dragons have numbers. Now they clear it. Now, no, not exactly. They have fumbles, and here come the Lady Eagles again, and then a struggle back and forth for control of the ball, but now here come the Eagles again. And that ball goes out of bounds. Boy, the Lady Eagles certainly had a shot right there, but there wasn't much of a run-up for that set shot. A very small run-up, in fact.
That's the one thing about women's football, and it happens in Australia as well with players new to the game. They only take 2 or 3 steps back from the mark, in which really they've got to be told you've got to take about 6 or 7 steps back. You've got to give yourself plenty of room for not only just kicking but running into your kick. So
Absolutely.
give yourself, you have the mark, so give yourself space.
And take time.
Exactly.
Take time. Yeah.
Umpire with the ball after calling for a ball up, right in the half-forward flank here for the Eagles. Nominating for the ruck there, Pike for the Eagles, going up against Sullivan. Taken away there by Stablin, who kicks it towards the top of the goal square. Can they sneak a late one, the Eagles? They can't. Here's a clearing kick. Stablin again goes up for the mark. Umpire's blown the whistle here as a LA player's gone down, holding her ankle. Probably getting up a little worse for wear as we're just about on half-time here. Siren at any moment, according to our clock. And we have time expired, and we're just wondering where the hooter is, because we play straight 20-minute quarters, and they're waving, and now they've finally signaled because we have no hooter, unlike Sarasota, so they just had to try and capture the umpire's attention. But that is officially half-time, Gil, here at San Diego Surf Cup Sports Park for Women's Division 2. It's the Eagles leading by 2 points.
Yeah, and it's really true to form, because the Eagles also held their last opponent, the Lady Magpies, to only 1 goal. So they are very, very tight defensively, and it looked like the game was being played much more in their terms. The Dragons have the fumble sometimes, especially in their back half. Can't seem to take advantage of those opportunities when they go forward.
Yes, with the Dragons, they had predominantly for the first 5 minutes of the half. They had the ball in their forward 50, didn't they? They were winning those contested possessions. They were breaking out of the pack. The problem was they just didn't seem to be able to try and hit up any targets inside their forward 50. And full credit to the half-back line of Baltimore to be able to withstand that.
Right, and then also, as you mentioned, Leilani Silvio, a good kick. She tried to create some opportunities for her teammates, but they just couldn't take advantage.
So we'll take an opportunity to take a break here at San Diego Surf Cup Sports Park. This is the USAFL Nationals, where at the moment it is half-time, and the lead is with the Baltimore-Washington Eagles over the LA Dragons. 2 behind to no score. We'll be back in a moment's time here on youtube.com/USAFL.
We're about to learn how to teach our kids / teach ourselves how to kick a footy.
Okay, tips to kick the footy. Number 1, nose over toes, which means just going to be over the football. You don't want to be looking up to where you're kicking, you want to be over the footy. Laces to where we're kicking it. We're going to drop it and we're going to point our toe.
Nose to toes, and then we're dropping and not throwing up.
Good, perfect. We can go home.
I love that summer feeling. I don't want it ever leaving. Breathing in the sky that's so clear. I could spend my whole life right here. I love that summer feeling. Now I'm here, I'm never leaving. Everything is possible right here. I love that summer feeling. Now I'm here, I'm never leaving. Everything is possible right here. I love that let go feeling. I feel my hands up on the ceiling. I think I'll spend tomorrow out here. 'Cause days like these feel like I'm dreaming. Yeah, I love that summer feeling. Now I'm here, I'm never leaving. Everything is possible right here. I love that summer feeling. Now I'm here, I'm never
Happiness is calling at sandiego.org.
My first game, I stood there and I was just like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm just gonna run. I just kept going and I kept going to practice, I kept going to the games, and eventually it just clicked. And I was just like, oh, I get it now, like this is fun.
Aussie rules, is often known as footy, is the equivalent of like the NFL here, and so in Australia they call it AFL.
So in Australia it's still huge sport, especially for the women. It's getting even bigger.
It's empowering for women, young women.
It's really great to just be able to run around and just have so much fun with a bunch of people that love the same sport that you do.
It just gives me this energy that I just can't describe, and it just brings me like so much joy.
It's a great physical outlet, but also the people that we play with are just so amazing.
These are the girls that if you want to dress up and go out, they'll be there for you. If you want to be in your sweatpants all day and eat chocolate and watch Netflix, they're also there for you.
I think that this sport has something for everyone.
I just feel like anyone and everyone should try it, give it a go, and just see if they like it.
If you're watching this video, it's not by accident. This is for you.
And the score at halftime reads something like this. It is 2 behinds for the Baltimore-Washington Eagles. The LA Dragons sitting on no score. Baltimore-Washington Eagles teaming up with players from the Boston Demons Women's Football Club. LA using players as well that were left over from San Francisco. They had enough for 1.5 sides. Also as well players from Arizona, and adding into that as well the 2 players from Des Moines joining us here at San Diego Surf Cup Sports Park. Peter Holden, Gil Griffin with you on commentary, Mark Gonzalez with you on camera. Great to have your company as we bring you quite a number of games throughout the tournament. Don't forget you can have a look back at the USAFL Liberty Tour select games from the USA Freedom when they played in IC17, and as well some certain regional tournaments and last year's nationals by going to youtube.com/USAFL. And Gil, there is a plethora of games to choose from there.
Absolutely. We've got games going on through tomorrow too, with the grand finals going on for the men's and the women's, and then this one for Division II with the women. It won't be a grand final, it'll be the team with the best record that'll be declared the premiers. And this is the first time there has been, or actually only the second time in Nationals history, that there's been a Division II competition for women, which is a great tribute to the growth of women in the sport.
Last year, of course, they did have in the competition 3 teams in Division II, and which they had a grand final. That was won in that occasion by the Portland Sockeyes combination defeating the Boston Demons Montreal combination, which was fantastic to see. What we do have this year is, as you said, the top team will go through and will be called champions. That happened in Division 1 last year when there was 5. In fact, we had what we called a mini grand final when San Francisco played Denver. It actually came down to them two, that whoever lose was going to be out of calculations, and San Francisco won that thrilling game 9-6.
9-6, and what I understand was some of the windiest weather that's happened in that part of the country in Florida.
It was crazy. It was flood the back line for both teams on both occasions as well. And the other thing I should point out is that Division 1 has also grown this year. 8 teams across 2 pools, including 2 Canadian teams coming down. We have in Pool A the reigning champions, the San Francisco Iron Maidens. They defeated the debutantes, being the Seattle Grizzlies, in their first game. Montreal and Minnesota. Montreal were tipped to go through to the grand final, but were upset by the Minnesota Freeze in their game.
Or they were frozen out.
Yes, indeed.
Speaking of which, Peter, I have to absolutely ask you this question. Look at the vista that you see here with the mesas and the rolling green hills and the palm trees. Scenery like this has got to be very unusual for footy for someone like you coming from Melbourne.
Indeed. I mean, to be honest, there's some grounds that you go to which are country grounds, which I guess if you look to the right of camera, where there's maybe just a hill and just some trees, you're kind of used to that country atmosphere with a fence around the ground. But when we do pan to the left and you see houses on the top of hills looking down, that's something very unusual. You might be lucky enough to see it on, say, the Frankston Peninsula when there's some places like that. But safe to say, not many grounds in suburban Melbourne do have that. We're waiting for the umpire to hold the ball aloft, and we will get underway to start the second half. Just making sure all is in readiness. Holds the ball aloft, wait for the whistle, and we are go. So let's start this second half. Can Baltimore hold on to their lead, or will it be taken by the LA Dragons? Well, there's an interesting question being posed already as Burkhardt tried to come away for the Dragons, but she was caught holding the football. In fact, pardon me, it was Kawakatsu that was caught with it. And it will be... No, got it in the back. I thought might have been holding the ball, but no, in the back decision called. Kakatsu now has it, and she moves the ball out towards the half-back flank position. Now an opportunity here for the Dragons. Look for Silvio, who's going to be lurking around the pack. She's waiting for it. Her teammate there in Cuthbert got to the football, couldn't get a clean disposal out of there. Kawatsu now there, wanted to go in one more time. She couldn't quite pick up the football. Plenty of numbers for the Dragons surrounding it. Waiting out the back there, but sky high in the kick is Parch. Parch brought the ball to ground. Silvio got in there. Parch got it on the left boot. Mark taken. Now running on. Dragons an opportunity. 30 out directly in front. And they've got it.
That's in there.
Dragons in front. 1 straight 6. Baltimore-Washington, Boston on 2 behinds. Boy, oh boy, could it be 2 games in a row that a debutante side at the Nationals come away with a victory. We've still got a long way to go. So, there on the scorecard, if we add that to the board, you'll see on your screen, 18.5 minutes to go. 1 straight 6, Los Angeles. Baltimore-Washington 2 behinds as the ball comes back to the middle of the ground. And you've got the nickname again for Kawakatsu, what's it?
Yui.
Yui.
That's what her teammates call her. And their coaches, they call her Yui.
And Yui's run out of the middle of the ground, that started it all.
Absolutely. And here comes the ball up, and Kendall Jennings goes up for the Lady Eagles, and the ball spills back with the Dragons going on the attack, having a chance. Was she gone there? No, the umpire says no play on. Okay, here we go forward with the Lady Eagles, and that is Stablin getting a kick down, and a contest coming around. Miriam Mater with the ball. Now she is dispossessed. Ball rolling around. Dragons have it. Looked like it could have been a throw there. Umpire says no. Ball comes down again. Short kick out of the middle toward the corner, but it's cut off. Cut off there by Jennings. Jennings will send the Lady Eagles into attack once again.
And Jennings just looking around for some options. What can she do? Wants to go down the central corridor with the kick. That's a strong mark. That's a very good grab. And holding it on there was Pike. Pike and 7 wearing the green socks. Can't miss her. Almost like the umpire socks, in fact. Kicks it long in towards the forward 50. Opportunity here. Arredondo tries to put it into space in front of goal. Take it away. Holberstadt goes charging after the football. Is it caught holding the ball? Umpire says no. No, she blew the whistle late and now signals it, and now it will be an LA Dragons football in their back flank. 1 straight 6, the LA Dragons, 2 behinds Baltimore-Washington Eagles here on youtube.com/USAFL. Don't forget to go to USAFL.com/women to find your local club if you want to join a team and play in the Metro Games regional tournaments or the Nationals. Going in the POF direction, she's the sole player in this side from the Wisconsin, having the ball number 3 is, I just lost it there on my sheet, for Baltimore-Washington. In fact, is that Emily Weir wearing the 3? I don't think so.
For Baltimore-Washington, that's Miriam Metter. Miriam Mater, who is wearing the culturally appropriate headscarf and the leggings.
Yeah, I saw the headscarf, and I was thinking because also one player that wears it was Poff, and I thought, well, hang on, no, Poff's paying for the Texas combination today.
That's right.
So that just threw me. A few of the numbers are out on the official team sheet that I've been handed anyway. It's available on the website. So Meter goes in one more time, and we'll call for a ball up.
By the way, there's some great tackling there by Savannah Green to win the ball in that last foray into the forward 50.
And going after the football as well as Drury again, as the hurry kick looking in the Arredondo direction, knocked away from her. Hurry kick away by the Dragons towards centre half back. Now an opportunity to get on the right. They've got a 1-on-2 situation. Can they stick the mark? No, they can't, because the question was being asked. Jennings goes after it, and the umpire says there's a trip, and it's a trip going the way there of the LA Dragons. And they have the ball defensive side of centre. Looking further afield, they get on the right. They go to a 1-on-2. Not smart, because you've got Jennings, who's just been dominating in the middle of the ground. You've got to try and avoid her. In fact, 14 is Kelly Jury. Thank you. You've got the other numbers, which I haven't.
No worries, mate.
Jury now kicks the ball in towards the middle of the ground, only for it to be intercepted there by Bartz. Went after it, couldn't do so. Overran the football, trying to pick it up then again. Was the fireman Worrell, knocked away from her. Hurried little kick away in towards the middle of the ground. Plenty of players chasing after the football. Silvio is one of them. Oh, almost had her leg snapped off as she tried to spin around, kick the football. Then went back and got it again. Absolutely brilliant. Umpire holds her up and calls her a ball up. Silvio is impressive for the Liberty, and I would not be surprised at all if she was on the Freedom team in 2020.
And the umpire's being very liberal with holding the ball here. A couple of times where a couple of players looked like they could have been gone.
Umpire allows play to go on again. Eagles. Move the ball towards the half-forward flank position. Doesn't go too far. Came off chest. There again with the 3 as Meter. Had it, now got it across there, looking into the Pody direction. Pody now moves it in towards the middle of the ground. Oh, here comes trouble. I thought that was holding the football. Umpire calls play on. Pike goes on to try and play the advantage. It's away to the left. And in fact, Seven is Mullins, pardon me. Completely different sheet to what I've got. Oh dear. Apologies if I've called name wrongs in the first half. I'm having a good one.
Well, Peter, the only thing is I was fortunate enough to have socialized over at the Baltimore-Washington side to have gotten a fresh sheet. So that's the explainer on that one.
And we should point out that we're looking for those on the website, and we don't get the latest because the printer's broken here at the USAFL, so they can't print off the team sheets like we'd normally have.
Just another one of those gremlins.
Ball on the outer side, and again we'll call for a ball up. Mullins, the 7 that we said, being very impressive.
Absolutely, she's had a lot of the ball.
And let's see what happens here. Of course, officially 2020 is when the next, I guess, internationals are for the US sides, but obviously we know that Great Britain are keen to tour. They were going to tour Canada, so it'll be interesting to see if they come down to the US while they're out this way and see if we can get some more international games in there. As a free kick is pulled out, and it's going, a mark's pulled out rather, and it's going the way of the Los Angeles women. Taking that is, I think, Bailey back there, who now goes for a long kick. It is very, very wide. Seeing it over the boundary line and out of bounds there was Sullivan.
And there was an Eagles player that took a mark that just got absolutely crunched over the back, but nothing called on that one.
And the umpire says we will have a throw in on centre wing on the far side of the ground. Back into play, over the head there at Patch. Now quickly gets a hurry kick for the Dragons. Yoon chasing after the football. She shows a quick turn of speed. Got rid of one, but the second got her. Around and around she went. The umpire said you were spun 360 while holding that football. That's going to be a free kick going the way of the Baltimore-Washington Eagles.
All right, so Baltimore-Washington now having the chance to move it back. And we'll see what happens here with their free kick. Thinks about a handball instead, now kicks it up along the wing, and that ball takes a bounce and it spills over the boundary line, can't be kept alive. And I don't believe it was out on the full. It was not, or was it? Yes, it was. It must have been out on the full. Dragons with a kick in, and it comes toward the center of the ground, spilling down on the ground, and now the Dragons get a handball away, and a kick forward toward the goal square. Way, way, way off, though, and rolling around near the boundary line. Pinballs around there. Mad scramble for it in traffic. Here come the Dragons. The Dragons emerge with it. No, just for a moment. Now the Eagles kick away and then back toward a Dragons player. Dragons have a chance to send it forward again. Sells some candy. Now she kicks it toward the hot spot. And it is knocked to the ground. Lady Eagles have it. Trying to move it again the other direction. A big struggle for the ball. And it looks like the Dragons player is wrapped up going down. Umpire steps in. It'll be a ball up.
And that is Paloma Krilich O'Day. I think I've got that.
I have Kat Bross down there.
That's 24 for LA?
24 for LA, Kat Bross.
Kat Bross. No, I thought Bross is 24 for Eagles. Rather.
Oh, my bad. You know what? You're absolutely right.
As the kick is cleared the pack. Now, is that through? I think it might be. That's another for the Dragons. I think it might have been Silvio. They're giving her a pat on the back after she hit the ground hard. Yeah. And the LA Dragons, I think that might be the game breaker in this low-scoring contest. They now move to 2 straight 12. The Baltimore-Washington Eagles 3 behind, 10.5 minutes remaining. So technically the clock's still there for Baltimore-Washington to come back. But how low-scoring this game is, Baltimore have to be clean with the ball.
Absolutely. That's so far is what has hurt them trying to take their opportunities here.
So it's back in the middle of the ground, and going up there in the ruck is Jennings for the Baltimore-Washington Eagles. Going up in this contest, as going with her was the 17 in Patch. Hurry kick forward. Looking in the Yoon direction. She's under all kinds of pressure. Close towards the boundary line. Trying to get there first is Sullivan. Sullivan puts on excellent pressure. Mita goes in there as well. She's just circling her as well. Shoves a player off the football for good measure. Spun around. Umpire calls play on as going in there is Tchula. and the umpires pulled it out and signaled a free kick the way of Los Angeles. And they had the ball on the far side of the ground. Long, high, right boot kick towards the hot spot, 35 metres out from goal. Ball hit the ground. Several players scrambling for it, putting on a bump there, Mullins. Umpire says play on as an Eagles player's down behind play. Scrambling for it is Jennings over the top of the football. Trying to get a hurry kick patch again. She got done when she tried to get her boot away. Close towards the boundary line. Hurried attempted kick by the Eagles is smothered off the boot. Hannah Bailey goes in there as well for the Dragons. Now the Eagles do have a chance as it tries to centre the football. Trying to get it for Mullins. Mullins, what can she do with it? Dancing left, dancing right. Got the party shoes on. Goes towards the half-forward flank position. Just waiting back there and hanging on to the football is Spite, and Spite only gets as far as Jennings. Jennings on the left boot, 1 foot goes long towards the 50-metre arc, 55 out from goal. Chasing after it is Mullins. Went back with the hand pass. Opportunity here to try and pick it up there is the 10 who swings around, gives the hand pass for the Eagles. Under pressure, tackle laid on beautifully there by Savannah Green. Baltimore-Washington desperately needs something to get back in this game, being 9 points down. I think that's over the neck. No, says the umpire, and calls for a ball up.
And that was Tracy Toner in there battling for the ball, being able to force the ball up there by holding it in. Okay, ruck contest now. And who's going to have control of this one? Struggle for it. Ball goes to ground again with the Dragons and the Eagles battling for it. Umpire's going to have to ball it up one more time. In there right now, Tracy Toner doing the ruck work. Actually, not doing the ruck work. Another Eagles player is. Ball comes out near the 50-meter arc. Here's a dribbler of a kick. Eagles trying to pick it up again. Dragons fighting for it. Looks like a little bit of friendly fire now with Jennings and another Eagles player going for it. And looks like the umpire will ball it up one more time.
And that's what we'll do. Right 45 metres out from goal. Jennings to go up in the contest versus Patch. Pardon me, going up is Sullivan in this time. As the ball hits the ground, who's going to be trying in there first? Going in there is Mullins, who tried to bust her way through. Couldn't do so. Hit the ground. Mullins wants to go again. Upended in that occasion. One step, a hurry kick from the Eagles, and you can see she kind of swore to herself as she kicked the football because she knew it was off the target.
Olivia Trichler.
And she put the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds on the full. And that means it will be a free kick to the LA Dragons. They lead at the moment, 2 straight 12 over the Baltimore-Washington Boston combination, 3 behinds.
Absolutely. Ball goes along the wing and goes out of bounds. It's interesting, Lauren Sullivan, number 30 there for Los Angeles, just all on her own, was demanding the footy but did not get it out of the goal square.
One of the original founders as well of this club. Originally, when she was trying to start the team, they were going to be dubbed the Southern California Catalinas. And then, of course, she met Aileen and she met Silvio, and then they decided to get together. And they met the LA club, and that's when they joined forces with the men to become the LA Dragons.
Okay. All right, ball spilling back in Baltimore-Washington with a chance to go forward. Here's a kick into the middle, and almost a mark, but spilled over there off the hands of Kat Ross. Now a kick toward goal, and it is smothered. And now the Dragons battling for it, trying to get it out of there, and the umpire has now called a free kick. Who's it's going to be? And it looks like it's a free kick to the Dragons. So again, the Dragons escape some trouble there. They have a chance to clear it.
And they do on the right boot. Oh, only for it to be intercepted. And taking the mark there is the number 12 in Welch.
Did she play on, though?
She took 1 or 2 steps and elected to go back behind what was a non-existent mark. Her kick, though, has let her down. Away to the right, 1 or 2 dribbles over the boundary line and out of bounds. So we'll have a throw in 5 metres around from the right-hand point post. Baltimore desperately need a goal to give them a chance of trying to win this game. Halberstadt went after the football, trying to get a hurried hand pass out. Burkhart's waiting back there for the football. She can't get it. It goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. Gill, 5 minutes, 20 seconds remaining for LA to hang on. They lead by 9 points.
And here comes the boundary throw in, and the ball spilling away. Looks like the Baltimore-Washington Eagles have a chance, but the ball being carried with a Baltimore Eagles player toward the boundary line. Scramble for it. It goes over. Could not be kept alive. No, the umpire says play on. So the Dragons are clearing it and kick it far up enough along the wing. Baltimore-Washington is going to take it and send it the other way. A little shake and bake, a little sell of some candy there, and a swat down of the ball. And the Eagles trying to go for it again. And it looks like a big battle over there between Kendall Jennings, and Jennings is able to shake her pursuer. And now The ball looks like it's spilling out. Was she carried over the boundary line, or what's the umpire going to say here?
We watch on in anticipation, and there's
Apologize
a
for
little bit of
the sight lines being a little difficult to read over here, but
the umpire has awarded the boundary umpire waved the arms for out in the full, so said a free kick to Silvio for the LA Dragons. Goes long and high, heading in the Hannah Bailey direction. 1 bounce, 2 bounces away from her. As we said, Bailey making her debut for Des Moines. So it's great that she wants to get interested, because obviously Emily Rice was the sole person at Des Moines, and they wanted to try and build it up there. They've got a men's club there, the Roosters. And, of course, the other clubs are supplying players. A few here for the Golden Gate Roos, otherwise known as San Francisco. 6 players from there. And they've also got 1, 2, 3 players from the Arizona team joining them for this tournament. As going up the line there is Silvio. Close towards the boundary line, was trying to hit green, got knocked away from her. Halberstadt's waiting on the side of the pack if they can squeeze it out to her. Melissa Armstrong going in there. The umpire blows the whistle and says that will be my ball back. So we throw it up in the air. Time's ticking away for Baltimore-Washington if they are to steal this game. Mullen's got it across to Halberstadt, who got it on the right boot. That's looking exciting. It's looking dangerous. Whoa, had it there momentarily with Spite. She dropped the football, trying to get a hurry kick away. Opportunity for Baltimore-Washington. The kick, though, was smothered. Silvio in defence. Gets it onto the right boot. Pumps it long, close towards the boundary line. 1, 2 steps away, and it does go over in the end. Seen over by Kaylin Deal. And we'll have a boundary throw in, Gill, 70 metres out from the Baltimore goal.
And the throw in, and now a little tap, and Baltimore-Washington has possession. Thought I heard an umpire's whistle, must have been from the other field. Kick in, and marked! And marked, was it paid? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Strong contested mark over there. I believe that is Kristen Potty who has that. Kicks it down toward the forward pocket. Another attempt at a mark, but that spills to ground. It's swatted away. The Lady Dragons are having possession of it. Now a little bit of a trouble that they're having trying to clear it, and the ball goes over the boundary line. Great contested mark there from Baltimore-Washington. It may not eventuate into a score. We're going to have a boundary throw in just a moment.
2 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the contest. Can they get one? They have to right now to be any chance of winning. Great tackle laid on by Melissa Armstrong. Ball spilled free. Hurry kick by the Dragons in towards the middle of the ground. Ojeda coming out towards the football. Couldn't get onto it. Coming over the top there for the Eagles, the number 14, to hold it up there in Kelly Jury. And the umpire says it's all wrapped up. We'll call for a ball up. You've got a feeling now they're just counting down the moments, the Dragons, to claiming a win on debut at the USAFL Nationals in Division 2. Close towards the boundary line. Halberstadt going out after the football. Chases it up, gets on the right boot, close towards the boundary line. Silvio's held it up. Now, did she throw it? No. 1 bounce, trying to control the football. Very close towards the boundary line.
And then the skill level comes in exactly where you were saying. That was a skillful handball by Silvio, but then the other player who ran probably didn't need to bounce. She hadn't taken too many steps. But again, that novelty of the game kind of showing here with some of the players.
Yes, I think, and Dave, you can see a lot of the new players as well. And I think the one thing that, and it goes right to the top level of women's football as well, what tells the good sides apart from the other sides is a word composure. It's like, you need to realise, like, if you've got the ball that, no, I do have 15 metres. I might have someone on me, but I have space. Or the composure of, if I'm being tackled, doesn't matter, I have my arms free. If I have my arms free, I still have a second or two to handball away. It's just that composure.
Absolutely.
As the ball is on the outer side, half back flank for the Dragons. Right, Bartz goes in there as well. Still close towards the boundary line. Yui again for the Dragons. She had it momentarily. Then almost like a try out there, the player going to ground with the football. Gladys tries to park herself underneath it, takes it, gets on the right boot, goes up the line a bit, tries to shake a tackle there, hand pass over the top. The umpire said that was not a hand pass, that was in fact a throw. 15 seconds to go in this contest, and it will be a victory to the LA Dragons. The 14 there just having a quick kick as Jury. Kick finds a target at centre half forward, who gets on the right boot, goes towards the flank. Pushing players over left, right and centre. And there's the whistle. That's full time in Division 2. And the LA Dragons win on debut. 2 straight 12 to the Baltimore-Washington Eagles, 3 behind. Gil, a momentous day for the LA Football Club. The Dragons having their women's side this year. They've only really got a core of 9 players. They had 13 on their list. A few couldn't travel down. But the great thing is they try and promote the game in America's second biggest city to at least, no matter what happens from here, they at least get to walk away with, we have at least 1 win at the Nationals.
Absolutely. Los Angeles is home for me. A great day a couple of days ago with the Los Angeles Dodgers making the World Series in baseball after a 29-year drought. And here we go with the Dragons women winning on debut, as you say.
And a good crowd in attendance, just for one for the San Diego locals. More fans here than a Chargers game, I think, in LA. A little bit topical. But if we talk about some of the better players in the game, if we look through for the Dragon side, the one that obviously stood out to us, Leilani Silvio.
Absolutely.
She had a fantastic game today, and it shows that she's class from the Liberty side. If you go through some of the other players as well, Yui, to use her nickname.
Right.
The great thing was she gave first use of the ball out of the middle of the ground.
She did. And also Emily Rice had a lot of the ball, too.
Yeah, she was doing well on the Baltimore-Washington side. Holberstadt tried hard for them. Jennings as well gave them something. Jennings gave them a lot of kicking power. The feeling around her is if you had someone who could play her position in the middle of the ground, because of her height, she'd be ideal, again, at centre-half forward to give them a tall target. But you can only have so many of it. You can't clone her. But, geez, they would have loved another one of her.
Kind of reminds me of what Dean Cox did with the West Coast Eagles, being that big player that could play in the ruck and could also play in the middle, having an extra midfielder out there, for sure.
And indeed, Tona did okay as well for the Baltimore-Washington Eagles, from the Boston combination. She did well. Jury did a lot. Pike, I like the look of her. She played a very good game for them as well. Obviously throwing in on the other side as well. Sullivan, she said they didn't quite get the use out of her. There's a few times she had space, but it's a long tournament, and no doubt, some of the coaches will have players in some unusual positions early. More a case of resting them to say, it's a long tournament, we need you fresh for when the going gets tough later on.
Also, one other player that impressed me in Los Angeles was Savannah Green. Savannah Green did a lot of good things today. Strong tackler.
Well, we'll wrap things up here at San Diego Surf Park. That's the San Diego Surf Cup Sports Park, I should say. I'm Peter Holden from girlsplayfooty.com. Thank you very much for your company. Gil Griffin, thank you very much for your company as well.
Thank you, Peter. Great to be with you.
On your second ever game, we look forward to more of your commentary in the future, including with Brian Barish as well. Mark Gonzalez on camera. Until next time, you're watching youtube.com/USAFL.